The Secret of the Forest chest unlocked a couple of days ago on my server, and I decided to go ahead and do 100 pulls of the current event chest, the Anecdotes of Middle-earth, or Middle-earth Anecdotes, whatever it's called. And I actually managed to get enough respect items to recruit Gandalf the White, and Gandalf the White is in this chest, so now I've been super tempted to try and push him as high as I can in terms of respect. Ultimately, I do want this guy at respect 5, so I'm going to go ahead and open 150 of these chests, since any T3 invite I get will either be Treebeard or Gandalf the White, but that's a 0.1% chance of happening. More importantly, any gift pack items, any respect items that I get for any Tier 3 commanders out of this chest will be either Treebeard or Gandalf the White. Long story short, this chest has a much higher chance of giving me white robe cloths than most other chests. The T2 commander on this chest, for anybody interested, is for Legolas/Arwen as well as Falcon. And the T1 respect item is just the Pipeweed for Ori, Merry Pippin, and Dwalin. Let's go ahead and open some chests and see if I get lucky. We'll do them 5 at a time, as usual, just for the sake of time. Sustain Harp, that's actually a reasonable harp, but I'm probably not going to be using that on anybody. We've got a Men's Strength Carver. This will likely be used to refine my Smite Carver if I manage to get Gandalf the White. There's a white robe cloth, speaking of the white. If I get him to R5 this season and am actually able to use him double white robe cloth, okay, that's 2 so far out of the first 2 pulls. I'm liking these odds. But yeah, I'm going to want him to use a Smite Carver. So that Carver can go towards that. Another Men's Strength Carver. Let's see, next up, a Sustain Pipe, one of the best accessories in the game, at least purple accessories in the game for good factions. If you guys pull a Sustain Pipe, in my opinion, you should definitely hang onto it. Mushrooms for Treebeard, we'll probably sell those to get more Gandalf the White respect items if and when I see them in the exchange. Shatter Warhammer, shame I'm not using any Dwarven commanders, because Warhammer is a pretty respectable item, in my opinion. It doesn't have attack like some other items, but otherwise it is pretty solid. Mushrooms for Treebeard and another leaf. We're going to see a lot of leaves most likely. A Mounted Vigor Horseman's Helm. Unfortunately, I think that the stun immunity and also the madness immunity helms are significantly better than the Mounted Vigor helm. If you really have the budget to just keep another white robe cloth, okay, number 3 or 4, I think. If you have the budget to have a madness immunity helm and a immunity helm and a Mounted Vigor helm, then by all means go for it. But in general, another cloth. There we go. Matic of the Iron Hills. What do we get on that? Fury. That actually seems pretty good for like Thorin or Dane. Yeah. Damage bonus early rounds, plus army attack dwarves. Solid item for a lot of dwarven commanders, I would think. Mushrooms for my boy Treebeard. Unfortunately, Treebeard is such a weird commander. I've seen some really crazy reports with him and those Spirit of the Wood or whatever those things are called. They're like Ents, except they're not actually Ents. They're like those ranged tree units. White robe, that's what we want to see. I've seen some pretty crazy reports of him with those guys, but other than that, he seems super weird. Excuse me. Hysteria Bone Mask. Very, very nice. I do already have one of these, but having extra Hysteria Bone Masks, never a bad thing. Got a Ranged Vigor Trapper's Hood. I'm not using any ranged commanders this season, so I won't be using that, but it is a good item nonetheless. An Elf Strength Harp. This, if I was running Gil-galad, this would be quite solid on him, but I'm a weird person, and I have not even recruited Gil-galad, and everybody and their brother is running R5 Gil-galad, it seems. Focus Quilted Armor, not very good. But I can use that to refine a Focus Protection Armor, so could use it for that. Double Gold Pack, a High Elf Halberg. What do we get on it? Mindfulness, Focus bonus during combat modified by speed stat does not seem particularly good in my opinion. I'm not even sure what commander would make use of that. Who has like high speed and also wants a whole bunch of focus? If anybody knows, leave a comment down in the comment section below. Swan Helm, this is a very solid item actually for Galadriel. So you have a bunch of focus, you get army defense men if you want to run guards of the tower or cataphracts. And courage, this lines up with on round 3, she does all of her damaging attacks. So pretty solid if I was running her. I might keep it around just in case I do decide to go back to her. 8 robe cloth, that could actually be a good helm for Gandalf the White, because he will use Surge within the first 3 rounds. Guard Hunter's Skin, much better Hunter's Skins out there. Another white robe cloth. I feel like I've gotten a pretty solid amount of those, so I'm definitely happy about that. A Mend Hithlane, super amazing accessory. If you get Mend Hithlanes, I would highly recommend keeping them. Hunter's Mark Harp. Hunter's Mark Harp. I feel like I just jumbled all of those words together on accident. This is a very nice effect to have around these days because of how many Gil-galads there are running around, and just other commanders like Gandalf the Grey that also have evasion. Hobbit Fiddle with March Speed, very, very bad. If you get Hobbit Fiddle, in my opinion, you should use it to upgrade better accessories. Shroud Scout's Mail, very, very solid. And I have, what, 2 coins left? Sure, let's do 2 more, just so I will go back down to 0 coins and not be tempted to open chests. So how many items did I get out of that overall? We got 8 white robe cloths and 5 Fangorn mushrooms from, 150 chests. So you should get about 7.5 respect items per 100. If we round that up to 8, we would expect 12 on average luck. We actually got 13 out of that chest, so a little bit better than average luck overall. And I'm really happy that it was 8 white robe cloths and 5 mushrooms rather than the other way around. So let's see, what can I actually take Gandalf the White to? We can take him to Respect 1. He gets to use an accessory. Respect 2. And part of the way to Respect 3. I'll have to do the math to see if I have enough vouchers after I break down items and stuff. But I do plan on pushing this guy to Respect 5 as soon as possible. Hopefully you guys will get to see him in action soon. But thanks for watching the video. I'll catch you in the next one. Phoenix, over and out.